It wasn't supposed to be like this. When Russian President Vladimir Putin launched his invasion of Ukraine, it was supposed to be a quick smash and grab. His troops would storm through the country and take Ukraine, leaving him with a huge chunk of new Russian territory. And it almost worked. During the early days of the invasion, Russian troops managed to get to the outskirts of Kyiv before being pushed back out of the city. Then came the near-unanimous support for Ukraine from major Western powers. Suddenly, Putin found himself with a war on his hands. A war that is well past the 2-year point at the time of creating this video. The smash and grab has turned into a war of attrition, and you may think that Russia is perfectly suited for that kind of war. It has the second most powerful military in the world, and it can keep throwing soldiers and equipment at Ukraine until Kyiv finally has to surrender to the might of Putin. But is that really the case? Far from having a never-ending supply of equipment and soldiers to maintain its war, Russia finds itself on the brink of being the victim of the atrophy this war has created. Simply put, it's running out of everything. If Ukraine can hold on for just a little while longer, it may soon find itself fighting a toothless Russia that isn't even able to support the troops it has in the country. How is that even possible? To explain, we'll start with one of the main pieces of equipment Russia has used in its invasion: tanks. On paper, Russia is a tank behemoth. According to Global Firepower, which releases annual rankings of 145 military nations in order of their strength in an array of departments, no other country has more tanks than Russia. It's believed to have a stock of 14,777, with 10,344 of those tanks being combat-ready. Naturally, you might assume that would mean that it can keep driving more and more tanks into Ukraine, no matter how many the Ukrainians have taken out. That's until you start to look into the numbers. In April 2024, Forbes examined the state of Russia's army and how long it will be capable of sustaining its